Well, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Deborah and I are here to wish you all a happy Mother's Day. You know, that we want to talk about how we mother ourselves and how we don't mother ourselves and we mother everybody else. But before we get started about that, wait, I wanted to say something about that. I want to thank everyone in advance for sharing part of your special Mother's Day with us. Thank you. Yes, that was perfect. But before we get started with that, the reason why we have our sunglasses on is it's just this bright, sunny day. And Deborah told me it's supposed to be all day.
Full sun all day.
All day, and that, as you know, is a rarity in Rochester, New York.
Yep, so we're really excited.
So I wear my yellow blouse because I just wanted it to be sunshine. And the other thing that I did is I brought us an afternoon treat. Mm-hmm. And it is 32 ounces of nature's sunshine, fresh squeezed orange juice.
Deanna's been bringing a smaller jar of that in and sharing it with me at the end of the day. And it is just such a great pick-me-up at that,
2 to 4 o'clock.
Yeah, window, when we just start, our blood sugar goes down, whatever.
And so you give it nature's sugar.
Yeah.
I mean, what better, the better
it's like
way to nourish yourself.
It goes right into your cells.
Yes.
Because it's so hydrating and it has so packed with vitamins. And it tastes so delicious.
It's unlike, I haven't had in so many years the frozen orange juice. What do you call it?
Oh yeah, well that has, ingredients in it. It has additives in it like citric acid. And,
yes, and it doesn't taste the same.
Yeah, those are preservatives. So anything with a preservative in it is probably not a good idea to have.
And then just to have fresh squeezed orange juice.
Yeah.
I mean, the best is to drink it right after you juice it. But there's still, the qualities stay in it. It is just so delicious in the afternoon. So back to Mother's Day, though, I want to talk about, first of all, I really want to, in this moment, I want to say thank you to you. Thank you to you for mothering me for the past 2 years, following my daughter's transcendence into non-physical. And you were there for me. There's no words to describe how much she did for me. I can really honestly say that I probably wouldn't be sitting here doing what I'm doing today had it not been for you and her mothering me and just nurturing me for the past 2 years. It was, thank you. I love you.
You're welcome. I had no idea she was going to do that.
No.
And it's interesting because from my own experience, and I went through really, really dark times without any mothering at all, and so
you had to mother yourself.
Yeah, I did. I had to mother myself. Yeah. And so being there for you was just, it was like half of my. A part of me is, and that's how we're all connected. It's not just you and I.
No, but it's real special to have this.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful for the bond that we have and that we're having this experience in this lifetime. And it's indescribable. And many, we've been asked over the years, what is it like to be a twin? And we're like, I don't remember what it's like not to be a twin. So I have no idea what it's like not to be a twin, but to have your best friend with you and that one that mothers you, my best friend, my mother, my twin sister, my strength, my rock this past 2 years.
We've balanced each other out.
Well, and that's what I want to talk about, the feminine, masculine, how we all have a combination of both, right brain, left brain, and how I'm more left brain in areas, and Deborah's more right brain, and then creative, artistic, logical, and calculative. And so But there's times when I'm really creative and you are, so right brain, and you are left brain. And we all have that capacity, the feminine, masculine, and it's what you, it's like what we're born naturally with the balance of it. And it's what you put your attention on too, because and it's all about keeping the balance. So I do want to say something about keeping the balance as well, the extremes and emotions and how we keep the balance. And it's all related to the masculine feminine side. And so we can mother ourselves, but we can also, pump our own gas, change our own tire. And so it's that the balance. And so one way, there's obvious ways that you and I are very different. And the most obvious way, I think, that is the how we dress. So I've always been attracted to and loved more tailored, masculine-looking dress. Like to have a very really wonderful, like white suit, or just I love, even like I saw one in a magazine the other day that was bright orange. And then Deborah is all flowy and feminine and full sleeves and maxi lengths, and you walk so graceful. She walks so graceful. You can tell that you're so comfortable with that way she dresses. And so sometimes we even dress opposite each other. Like she'll come in with a more masculine look, and it looks great on her as well. And I'll come in with more feminine look. Sure. And it's that balance. It's the ebb and flow.
Yeah, and we can have that with other people in our lives. I live with my young adult daughter, and Sam, she's 21, and she just turned 21. And so now I have a young adult daughter living with me. And we just have that same kind of synergistic flow. Of course, it is a different dynamic, but so this is indescribable. And I was going to say that when people ask me what's it like to be a twin, I say I don't know what it's like not to be a twin. So I have nothing to compare that to.
Yeah,
and it's just fascinating being on the inside of that, but then also sometimes taking a step outside and taking a look at what that looks like. Because it's like. We're just so in sync that we don't even have to.
Yeah,
talk.
we don't even have to talk.
So a lot of it's telepathic.
Yes, yeah.
So mothering, Mother's Day,
balance,
and
this is all about ways to mother yourself. And one way that you just mothered yourself is that you made yourself a really beautiful cup of tea.
Yeah, I did.
And
I made the mug too.
And you made the mug.
I made the mug.
Hello, beautiful. And to see that, that's one way of mothering yourself. It's a great way of mothering yourself every day. And I love when she makes the tea too. It tastes that much better.
It always does when somebody else makes it.
Yeah. So
this is my lemon balm tea because I have been experiencing symptoms of anxiety and PTSD, and that
dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
As well.
And this really helps to just keep me more balanced during the day. Food is so healing. Herbs and food. There is everything in nature that we have medications for, and it's just knowing, what to use.
So everything in nature, it's food is medicine.
Yeah.
So that's really our medicine. And when we intentionally eat in that way, we're eating something and we're realizing the value of it and how it benefits our bodies. And feel the gratitude for that. It comes from Mother Earth.
Well, and that is like the best thing that we could do for ourselves, to mother ourselves, is to take really, really best care of ourselves.
And to give so much thanks to Mother Earth.
Yes, and so we're going to be learning something new this year because my daughter is getting into foraging, and so for her birthday she got a book on foraging for beginners.
Right.
So I want to be sharing some of that information.
Yay.
Because
I'm excited.
She's
I had no idea what it was.
Yeah, she's been, so it's where you go and you pick wild plants that have medicinal values. And she's planning on making her own tinctures. And it's interesting that when she was like 5 years old, she became very interested in herbs. And I remember buying her a poster of different herbs and what their medicinal values were. And And so she was been into it for that long and
Wow.
just dabbled in different areas. So now she has the Bible, and she's going to be going out and is all equipped, for picking and identifying different herbs.
So she has tools that
wild
she
herbs.
uses.
Yep.
Tools that
Yep.
she uses. She's got a guidebook.
Yes.
And
yeah.
she's and this is Sammy, she's always taught herself. And she's always mothered herself. And you should see her mother, Deborah. I mean, she
I
mothers
know,
Deborah
I
better than
know.
I do. When
She
you were
does.
really sick a
Yeah.
couple years, like last year, and I witnessed Sammy mothering you, and it was just so beautiful. So we can mother each other. We can mother, daughter, mother, sisters, best friends,
yeah.
lifelong friends that you have that spirit connection with, that soulful connection, and you feel it. And you know when you feel it because it feels really, really good.
Yeah, and that's what everything is all about, is feeling really, really good.
Yeah.
What we put in our body, what
But
we
what else-
give out, what we give to ourselves,
What we think,
yes.
everything. So really, ladies, pay attention to how you're, talking to yourself. Whether you're, when you look in the mirror, really just take a moment and pause and reflect on how beautiful you are. Just 5 minutes, and in those 5
Not even
minutes,
5
you can
minutes,
even
it's
do your
like
Tim
5
makeup.
seconds,
And so that's the ritual of the Tim makeup, is honoring your soulful self. And appreciating that every time you do Tim. And that's why Tim is really, a way to connect with yourself and mother yourself every day.
Yeah, I had a woman tell me this week, a client who was in, she said she's just too lazy to do it. And I was like, wow.
And she wouldn't be that lazy when it came to her children or,
No.
her husband or anybody else, but to be
True.
too lazy to do that to yourself. And talk about when you looked in the mirror the other day when you were feeling a dark night of the soul period
this was
of time.
on Monday. Thank goodness it was a day off. And I was in a really deep, dark place, but I was allowing it and going into the pain and not judging it.
Or not distracting yourself from it either.
No, not distracting me. I would take the moment, I would do the breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And at least, minimum 3 deep breaths. I go into more than that, and just breathe right into whatever it is that is expressing itself. Because again, that is the yin and the yang.
Yeah,
the good and the
masculine,
bad,
feminine,
the bliss and the despair. There's just, we have all of those
Among the
things,
range
yeah.
of emotions.
And so our mission, a big part of our mission, I think, in being in this human body, is that we keep it balanced. And we all have different balance points.
So speaking of the balance, how did you balance yourself in the moment when you looked in the mirror and you had your cry face on?
Yeah, so I had my cry face on. I'm like, and so I judged myself. I'm like, holy cow, that is so ugly. And so I had done the work with going into the pain, and then I looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, we're going to shift this right now. And
How did you shift it?
I'll intentionally put a smile on my face,
Okay.
and I walked away from the mirror, and I just shifted it in my mind. By the time I got down the stairs, because I was going downstairs, and I knew that I would see my daughter, and I didn't want her to see me in those,
Despairing moments.
And so I wanted to, and I had that intention that, I was going to go downstairs and I was going to be a different person, and I was a different person because I made that decision.
Within moments.
And then I did it.
Within moments. It doesn't
it's-
take much.
Well, no, but it's taken me practice to get to this point.
Yeah, because you have to, I liken it to a freight train. So you've been going this way for decades, and then all of a sudden, you're going to do a 360. That's not how, like a 180, that's not how a train takes time to stop. And a freight train, and then it takes time to get going. So along with, making these changes and applying these self-love shifts to yourself, you've got to be patient and have compassion. And the way you
it's
would
one step at a
with
time.
a child,
Your
who didn't know
grandchild,
any better. Yeah,
your own child.
So treat
Yeah.
yourself like you treat everyone else, and put your needs first. And I just had a client in recently, and she had woken up, like she just in consciousness and realized that she was not fulfilling her own needs, and she's had a lot of demands in the past 10 years, and she has 4 children, and she went through a very traumatic experience with her one child, and so she's finally realized that all the children are at a good place, and she's finally realizing that she needs to start taking time to fulfill her own needs, to take care of herself.
Yeah, so that means, I've been at that point before where you just feel like you can't go on. I'm like, how could you, how are you even doing this? And so it's that deciding moment that we usually have to be in a health crisis, an emotional crisis or something to open up. That's when you really start, putting it out there, like, please, I need help.
I need something.
It's like you're overwhelmed.
Yes.
And a lot of times that's adrenal drain. We get addicted to running on adrenals. And we're not feeding ourselves enough. And so when you have adrenals, then everything feels overwhelming.
Everything feels overwhelming. So I'll never forget that the best I ever felt was after I had this surgery. And I was in extreme pain for 2 weeks, even being on the pain medications. I had to, it was just very extreme. It was for 2 whole weeks, and I did nothing. And then I came back to work part-time the 3rd and 4th week. And I really, I intentionally, when I was in the kitchen chopping vegetables, I would pull up a stool and sit down. And and just not and just do it very very mindfully, and not rushing through it. And so I felt the best I've ever felt in my life in just 4 weeks, going from extreme pain to bliss. And it was because I only took care of me for those 2 weeks.
That's such a great contrast to experience, and be so aware of it also. And then there's always something good that comes out of everything. We can make anything into we however we choose
to perceive it, however we choose to see it. Yeah. So today we just want to just hope that this has helped you to really start thinking about what your needs are and how you can mother yourself and enjoy being honored and honor yourself today by just the energy of it. It's really, I can get the more meaningful spiritual experience about these holidays. It really does, give everyone an opportunity to really stop and think about what we're grateful for.
And reflect.
Reflect.
Yeah, not the commercialism of it.
No, not at all. No.
So it's really, the natural, like nature.
Well, we're going to go on a hike, and we're going to go on a hike, and we're going to have a picnic outside.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited because that's so going to nurture me. I get so we all do get so nurtured by the energy of the Mother Earth, and so today also to really pay homage to our Mother Earth for giving us all the tools that we need to fulfill our own needs. We love you all. Enjoy your day.
Happy Mother's Day to you, Dave.
Yes.
And even if you don't have your own children, I'm sure you have mother others, or you're the mother of a 4-legged child, or all your different pets and everybody. So we all have that mother within us, and so everyone is included.
Honor and celebrate it. For everyone. We love you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.